Hey, everybody, welcome to Late Horror Show, the pre-show before the big show, before the old-time radio show. And we're going to have Kristoff from the Vagrancy Horror in just a second. Subscribe to his channel. It's right there in the link. I'll be right back in about 30 seconds.
Is it just me? Or is it getting crazier out there?
Hey, everybody. Welcome once again to the Late Horror Show. The pre-show before the big show, before the old-time radio show. And it's hopefully you guys don't get sick of my mug here, seeing me every day. Most is going to be like, Dino's live again. Are we going to go on there and watch him? Hey, Ed Pincus. What is going on, my friend? How are you doing? Ed Pincus on Instagram, always doing those old vintage comic books, and I love it. Well, new ones too. He loves them all. Teresa, what is going on? Kathy, Tracy, hello. Edward Stewart, good evening, everybody. Woohoo! Wreck the place before you mess the place. RMAC 2020, Harry Scott, Tony Z, Kathy. I mean, holy Moses! Thank you, guys. This is just a pre-show, something to get content up there for YouTube to make them pleased and happy. You know what I mean? So that's what I'm doing. But I do really appreciate everybody showing up and having fun before we get into the old time radio show. If we got time, I'd like to get a show going here, a half hour bit, something short, but we'll see. We're going to talk with Kristoff here and see what kind of info he's got on his channel. But anyways, a real quick trivia question, okay? Old time radio trivia question, really quick. Got to throw this in, and I've got a list of about 10 of them here. If we get to them, I will say them. Match the star with the sidekick. Okay, so match the star with the sidekick. I'm going to mention a name, and you tell me the sidekick and the star together. Okay, so it is, and I'm going to start off real easy just so you get how this goes. Sherlock Holmes, match the sidekick. First person to get it wins nothing but a thank you from me, I guess, for getting it correct. But Sherlock Holmes. Let me know his sidekick. Who is that? Will Smith, Chris Rock. Yeah. Boy, do I tell. Maybe I'll wait and have Kristoff on here with me, and we'll talk about it a little bit. I don't know. Maybe I want to talk about his channel, but we could talk about Chris Rock. Why not? Watson, there you go, Armac. Watson. I do got harder ones, which if we get to, I'll get to it. Well, you know what? Let me do one more. Okay, let me do one more and see if you guys get this. This one's going to be a little bit harder. Tell me again. Match the star with the sidekick. Okay. Red Rider. Okay. Red Rider. See if anybody gets this. And I'm going to have to recheck my, yes, there we go. Okay. Let's see if anybody knows the sidekick for Red Rider. Chris Rock and Will Smith. I had two different opinions on that. I really dig the light microphone, Dino. Thank you, Zardoz. And thanks for showing up here. Going to just have a real quick, I don't know how long these are going to go sometimes. They could go short, they could go long. This is only the second pre-show. So, we do got the Shadow tonight. The Shadow does know. Beaver. What? I think is what? What are you talking about? Tom Cochran. No, not the Beaver, not Tom Cochran. You guys don't know Red Rider's, wait. Who got it first? Ed Pincus, duh. Yes, the Little Beaver. I'll give it to you. He says Beaver. It's Little Beaver. He corrected himself, Little Beaver. So there you go. The sidekick, Red Rider. I've got 8 more left. But anyways, I'm going to get to Kristoff in a second here. On Patreon, numbers are dropping. See, I don't think people are going to want to see me every single day. But anyways, Patreon, please be sure to support us on Patreon. Keep the streams and everything else going on this channel. We have movie night this Friday. I put a poll up on Patreon. The movies are Clue, Rear Window, Alfred Hitchcock, 1954, The Birds from 1963, and Reanimator from 1985. I could watch any of those movies for sure, but so far, Rear Window, Alfred Hitchcock, 1954, is in the lead with 15 votes, and Clue's right behind it with 10. And then the other one's got 5 and 3. I can't believe that many people have voted already. So that should be a good movie night either way. You know what I mean? So Little Beaver played by Robert Blake. Yes, Robert Blake. Red Ryder Cowboy was Little Beaver. Red Ryder had comic books too. Yes. Man, I love my golden age comic books, man. But anyways, I'm going to bring on Kristoff here now, and we are going to talk Chris Rock and Will Smith. No, we're going to talk his channel. We'll probably talk about that too. Hey, Kristoff, what's going on, man?
Good evening, sir.
Yes, you are. I was going to say the owner. You're not the owner. Well, it's your show, the Vagrancy Horror. You shortened it down here a bit. It's called the Vagrancy Horror, and you do short little horror kind of radio drama type stuff. Tell me exactly what you do here.
I would say that the actual shows are as close as you could get to a radio drama without being a radio drama, I guess is the right way to put it. They are narrations of stories that I have written in the same veins as people like H.P. Lovecraft or Robert Chambers.
Very cool.
Trying to think how else to describe them, really.
Well, they're dark and twisted tales, but not real long, kind of shorter. Yeah.
Most of our episodes are only around the 10-minute mark, and we try to keep it like that. There's 2 episodes that really pushed it a lot longer, and not surprisingly, those are probably our 2 least watched.
Really? Okay. So
Yeah.
they come. Well, we've been told by YouTube, the shorter the better. But I've always done the opposite. I think even 6 years ago, I mean, when I started doing these shows, we talked for like 2 hours. So just different style of show. That's all. But yeah.
Well, I mean, if YouTube had their way, we'd all just be doing those little short things like trying to be TikTok. So.
Oh yeah. Well, that's why YouTube Shorts now.
Oh,
Armax says, if Rear Window wins, I'll have to practice my Jimmy Stewart impression. Yeah. I used to be really good with the Jimmy Stewart and other impressions, but yeah, Jimmy Stewart is fabulous. 06902. I love this channel, especially at night when I'm walking around the parking lot at work. I have to say this community has kept me company when I'm alone. So thank you guys. I think that's thank you, Zero. I've never seen you here before, but I do appreciate that. I think that's what a lot of people do. They like listening to this when they're either working, a lot of security guards, people overnight, truckers, can put this on and stuff. But anyways, the Vagrancy Horror, please go sub to his channel. He's got good stuff when it comes out. I think the last story you put out was about a month ago, and it was called what?
The Horror in the Wires.
And what was that about?
The Horror in the Wires is actually probably one of my oldest stories. So, as I've mentioned before, I took a swing at being a writer once upon a time and actually got some books published, and they were absolutely terrible.
Oh, jeez. Okay.
Oh, they were. That's not even like me being snide. I'm being dead serious. They were basically never edited, which is a bit of a problem.
Yeah.
And after a while and basically getting yelled at by a couple of people, actually, I decided, well, if I can't be a writer, maybe there's some other way I can be a storyteller. And So behind the scenes, what I've been doing actually is basically taking a lot of the old stories that I wrote like 15 years ago,
Yeah.
and have been trying to like recycle them and reboot them, I guess you could say. But specifically, The Horror in the Wires is one of my oldest creations. It's about a guy who goes snooping around a friend's flash drive computer stuff, and he accidentally wakes something up.
Oh, okay. So
And
no, and we'll stop it there. You don't have to go too deep. That sounds cool enough. You kind of is that the original concept, or did you kind of recreate for today's it's
oh,
2022 now? So
see, the problem with that is that in order to answer that question, I would have to go into more detail about
okay, then don't worry about it.
thing in question. Yeah,
Yeah, no,
and
I got you.
I want to antagonize people a little bit. Go watch the video. Go see.
Yeah, no, go watch it. Hey, they're short enough to get them in pretty quickly. So you can go there, sub, hit the bell, listen to one at a time if you want. I mean, 8 minutes, 10 minutes, whatever, they're short enough and they're done very, very well. And I'll talk about your costume too in a second here. Vicky Elkhorn says, "Oh, Edward, Jimmy Stewart, probably my favorite male actor." Yes. My grandpa says Edward just never liked Jimmy Stewart. Could never figure that out why. Yeah. You know what? I think Jimmy Stewart is a guy that during that period, especially during the 60s, he became he went into westerns and that's fine. I mean, I love, everybody loves their old westerns, but he became very political and he became one of those old men that were like very pissed off and mean, like get off my lawn kind of guy. I mean, Jimmy Stewart became that, and I love Jimmy Stewart. I love him. But to see him become this angry, grumpy man, the typical guy who would say, "Get off my lawn." It wants nothing to do with anybody. Don't come up to me and talk to me. What's wrong? That's kind of what he became towards the end. And I don't know why that is, but some people just turn out that way. I don't know. Hello, Mosby. And Zero said, "You got me hooked on the Falcon." I think the Falcon series is a little bit underappreciated.
Yeah,
Right?
I can definitely see that.
Yeah, you always hearing, of course, The Shadow, and that's different. But Boston Blackie, Johnny Dollar, even Barry Craig and all these other ones. The Falcons seem to have, in my opinion, be a little bit more underappreciated than a lot of even though they had the movies, The Falcon, back in the day too. I do believe started in the 40s, the Falcon movies. But those are fantastic too. And offhand, I can't remember the actor who played the Falcon in most of the series, but very well done. And Dino, I was the one that shouted you out to Lauren Chen on Twitter to check out your channel. Thank you very much, 06902. If you're on the old Twitter and want to check his tweets, make sure you like him if you're 06902 on Twitter. I don't know if you are. But anyways, Kristoff, you got this persona on the channel where you have this skull in this black cape. What's the deep, sinister, dark secrets that brought that upon, huh, Kristoff?
Well, no, there's a very funny story about the vagrant, as he's called.
Okay.
So, and I've told the story before, but I'll tell it anyway. I have a trivia.
Thanks, Lynn. Sorry. It's Tom Conway, the Falcon. Yes, Tom Conway did a lot of those series. And I didn't mean to interrupt you, Kristoff, but I did want to get that out. And his brother. That's right. Yeah. Okay, go ahead, Kristoff. I won't interrupt.
So I actually have a bit of a trivia question for the chat that I can't see, unfortunately. But does anyone here know where I found that skull that is the vagrant costume?
I'm trying to remember because I remember hearing it on Maria T with Telly. You said it, but I can't
Yeah.
remember exactly where you said. I know you found it somewhere, but yeah, I don't
I'm
remember.
gonna give a little bit for people to try and chime in with an answer.
Okay. Hey,
You're gonna have to
chick.
tell me. You have to tell me if anyone chimes in.
Okay, I will. I'm keeping track of it here. Uh, Connie Clary. Hey, what's going on? Was it George Sanders? No, it wasn't. I don't. No, not George Sanders. But anyways, yeah, continue on if you want,
Well,
and we'll see
so
if no idea says Kathy. There we go.
okay. I actually found it. I'll put them out of their misery. I actually found it in the trash can of a Walmart parking lot.
Oh, that's right. Yes, now I remember. Yeah, you bring it up. Yeah,
Yeah,
Walmart.
somebody threw. Well, I used to work at Walmart. I was a cart pusher there,
Mhm.
and I found it there one night and was like, "Oh, this is too cool to throw away. I'm
Oh,
keeping this." And my roommates didn't really like it at first, and for a good while, it was just on the porch. But
okay.
eventually, we decided to incorporate it into the costume. And it's
Yeah.
funny how the costume has evolved because originally it was on a plaque. It was like mounted to this
Mhm.
piece of wood. And the original idea for the vagrant's costume was actually just draping a bed sheet over me, holding the plaque so the skull was in front of my head.
Whatever
And
works,
then
man. Whatever works.
what's funny is we never went with that design before we actually
Yeah.
started. We ended up uh, we figured out how to get it off of the wooden plaque and used a bunch of like nylon cords and a belt so we can wrap it around my head,
Huh.
and then I can use my arms, and we have the robe and the
Yeah.
chain and everything else. But yeah,
So you're sticking your face right in that skull, huh?
uh-huh.
And
Sometimes
somebody
if I
and somebody
remember,
go ahead.
we put a foam. We put some foam on the end of my nose so I don't crush my face underneath.
Gotcha. And somebody threw this out on the plaque in the garbage.
Yes.
Wow. How
Eh,
nuts. That's crazy. Um, that is such a strange thing to see in the trash at Walmart. Haha, Kristoff must have been meant to have it. Yeah, came to him
yeah,
for the character. Yeah. Good
you
old
know that
dumpster dive.
to be fair, no, it wasn't dumpster diving. I was there working and I found it in the trash can. It was sticking out.
Right. Hey,
But
I see people doing some dumpster diving, man, and they go behind these stores and stuff like that. Not that I'm telling people this is what they should do. I'm not condoning it, but
of course
they go back there and these stores throw away stuff that you wouldn't even believe they would throw away. And
not.
some yeah, go ahead.
My mother used to work at a certain store that I won't
Mhm.
say because I don't want to suggest anything. I don't want to suggest people do anything, but um, it's a particular store, but for some reason, they have to throw out their seasonal inventory at the end of the season, and she ended up getting a whole bunch of Halloween stuff from this place
Wow.
because
Yeah.
apparently it was something to do with the barcodes being too old or something like that, so they had to get rid of them. And she was like, "Oh, that's a shame."
Yeah. When they
And
got to get
then
rid of stuff, they just throw it out, man. They don't care. Write it
they
off.
they don't.
1220 Productions, great times every time. Welcome to the chat. Haven't seen you here before, but very cool. Uh, one last Falcon thing, but I would have loved to hear crossovers with Sam Spade or Johnny Dollar. It would have been cool for a lot of them detectives to like kind of crossover, but it was a different day and age. They did things a little bit different. So, but that would have been cool. The Falcon. Edward Stewart is saying, let me see. He did a little info here, and I don't want to pass it up. Where did you put that? How far up is that, Ed? Oh, geez. He said the actors. Les Damon was the one that did the radio shows, and he did a very good job. That's for sure. But looking for food. Oh no, no food. I know there's people that I've seen on video dumpster diving and they saw the packages of food. It's a week old. They're like, it still looks good. It's cupcakes. They're good. And they throw it in their back thing. It's a whole thing, man.
That
But anyway,
no.
yeah, no. So Chris Rock and Will Smith. uh
That's a
I might
different
as
kind of
well.
horror story than I usually
Right,
work with.
right. Well, Chris Rock, a lot of people are saying I think it's fake, but then, it seems to be real. I don't know. You never know in Hollywood nowadays. You really don't. Because I
Well,
could, you know, what do you think?
personally, I think it was partially. I personally think Smith was told to go up and do it. I
Yeah.
don't think Chris knew it was going to happen though, because like he was smiling when he saw Smith walking up the stage. So I mean, like he didn't suspect anything, and then just suddenly struck him.
Yeah. But do you think it was real?
I no, I think Smith had someone going off in his ear saying, "Hey, there's an opportunity. Get some attention." I
Yeah.
mean, uh, hell, dude, is it really any coincidence that this happens like within a week of Disney telling the Academy Awards that, hey, if you guys don't get some attention, we might not bother hosting the next one?
There you go. There you go. Yeah, no, 100%. I think, I mean, we're not 100% sure, unless somebody comes out and says, "Hey, this was rigged." But
Yeah.
to get the ratings, and what Disney said and everything, they really needed to do something to stand out, and this is going to go down as one of the bigger things that ever happened at one of the Oscars. So, you know, they succeeded in that, right? I mean, look at everybody. I opened up YouTube the next day, and I don't know how many channels were doing
Oh,
stuff on, Chris Rock and Will Smith and the slap heard round the world, and I'm like going, "Oh, come on,"
I I know that I can be a bit dramatic, but come on, guys, let's spare the theater, shall we? The
Right,
slap.
right. I mean, we all
I
know, all those actors, actresses know that, comedy is what they're in for at the Oscars or any of these big shows, and Chris Rock's up there, he's going to make fun of just about everybody, and you just got to laugh. You know what I mean? It's part of Hollywood. What are you going to do? But um,
well, one could argue, you could develop a thicker skin. That's a good start.
oh yeah, oh yeah,
I assuming that it was real, yeah. If this is real, then Will Smith just went from being the coolest dude on the planet to being the biggest wimp ever. If it was real. And again,
yeah,
I think he was told to do it. I think he was put up to it. I think Chris knew he was going to come up onto the stage. Maybe he didn't realize he was going to get hit because he did seem kind of jarred and shocked, but
yeah, yeah. I mean, I think it was a mixture of a lot of different things. I mean, who knows? I don't know. Max says Will Smith shouting and swearing at Chris Rock seemed pretty real. I haven't watched the Oscars in over 10 years, so it caught people's attention.
then that's kind of exactly the point. We saw in less than 30 seconds the entirety of Twitter being people saying that they're either refusing to watch the Oscars or they don't care enough to watch the Oscars, to instantaneously everybody and their ugly sister tuning in and trying to find that clip.
Yeah, yeah. No, I agree to a point, with you 100% on that. Zarda says it was wrong either way, like Don Rickles insulted all. Well, you know what? I mean, those were the Dean Martin celebrity roasts. I mean, Don Rickles on there. He was, I mean, can anything get any, worse than what he said to people, Don Rickles? And it was part of the show. You took it with a grain of salt. And afterwards you were still friends and buddies. You understood. Entertainment is entertainment. I mean, people make fun of people all the time, but in the world of showbiz and comedy, they kind of go hand in hand. And again, look what it did. It brung, worldwide attention to it. And don't ask me why. It was just it was a remark about GI Jane and an empowered woman. But then on the other side, I understand, he could say that it was about GI Jane. But G.I. Jane's bald, well,
Yeah.
shaved down, and she has that. I get it. I get it.
Well, see, my beef is that you can clearly see him smiling and laughing at the joke,
Yeah.
and then he looks over at his wife, and suddenly he's so offended and so upset.
Well, that's
You
what I
know,
was thinking, and yeah, we've gone off track a little bit, but
holy hell!
yeah, Tracy says it was just all kinds of sad, the whole situation. Yeah, I agree. I mean,
I do.
if it was rigged, if it was honestly, something that just happened, it's sad either way. I mean, because Will Smith was sitting there and he was laughing along with them, Chris Rock and everybody else. But you look over, and I saw her face too, Jada Pinkett Smith, and she looked very hurt. But Jada Pinkett Smith has been known to have an attitude with everybody. So if a comedian wants to joke on certain things with somebody who has an attitude in the business and in the industry, she should be able to just take it too. But Will Smith looked over. Everybody's saying, if that was your wife and he's making a joke like that, and you see your wife over, you got to do something about it. And that's the thin line, because it's the Oscars. You're on national TV. Do you really get yourself up when you're nominated for an Oscar for Best Actor, and go and cause a scene like that? I mean, who
Yeah.
knows?
See, here's how here's how I say it. If it was fake, it was an incredibly poor taste because it re-encourages the idea that you can respond violently to words. That's wrong.
Right.
If it was real, then it was still in horrible taste because Will Smith, as a grown ass man, should be
Yeah.
able to conduct himself better than that.
Oh, 100%. Yes,
And
exactly.
also, I'm just going to take the low blow here. If he's mad about Chris Rock making fun of her hair, oh boy, what do you think he's going to do when he finds out all the dudes that his chick has been with before? And
Oh,
just like that,
yeah.
everyone leaves the chat.
No, no. I mean, it's, hey,
I'm not
everybody's,
judging. I'm just
no, no,
saying.
no, no. I get you. Yeah. I mean, of all the things Chris Rock made fun of, it was that. And it was a G.I. Jane joke. And the whole open marriage thing, which, to each their own, you know what I mean?
Oh yeah,
Nothing with that, but, has been with an awful lot of men, but Will Smith is in a relationship that's okay with him. So, it's tough. Look, who said something? Armax said, if I hit someone in front of witnesses at work over something someone said, I would be fired and maybe prosecuted. In Hollywood, they reward you 10 minutes later with an award. Yes,
that's a very
100%.
valid point. But real quick, I just want to throw this out there to the open relationship thing. That's fine. I personally don't care.
Mhm.
But at the same time, I'm also the guy who, on his third episode, talked about suicide and incest. I don't think anything is over the line or off limits here. If it exists, you can speak about it, and you should be able to speak about it,
Yeah.
including a backhanded, mean-spirited joke.
Yeah. So your episodes, they can get pretty deep.
Yeah, for the record, I don't think any have gone as bad as Perfectly Natural did. Like, I lost subscribers, and I was really worried that I had made a critical error when I put that
Well,
episode up. I was like, oh no.
well, Kristoff, I can tell you one thing. You can make one little mistake on your channel or say one little thing wrong, and it can offend a whole group of people,
Oh
and
yeah.
you could lose them all that quickly. So yeah, I get it. I get it. But I mean, unfortunately, depends how you're doing it. In a
Yeah.
creative way. Are you trying to make a point? I don't think I've heard that episode. I'll have to go check it out. But depending on how the story is, you judge the story, not the content
Yeah.
or context of what it is all about. So,
Yeah. Um, the funny thing is when I wrote that story, I wasn't even like trying to really specifically be like shock and awe or anything like that. it was literally just an idea for a story I had, and I started typing it out, and there it was. And like I said before, you know, the price of creativity, of to be dramatic, art is that everything has to be on the table or nothing is on the table. And so,
Right.
I've made that story. And funny story, actually, without going into too many details, well, I guess I can go a little bit.
Yeah.
There's a scene, a particular piece of art that I originally didn't want to be put in there.
Okay.
The shot of the character Sierra without her clothes. That'll get everybody over there. I
Okay.
originally was like, oh, that's way too far, and my crew were like, no, this should totally be it. The whole point of this episode is that you have to be able to talk about or show or do anything. And I was like, okay, fine, you guys win. When we get banned and we lose all our subscribers, it's your fault, not mine. And funny thing is no one's complained. I haven't got any like flags or anything. It's literally I had 2 people unsubscribe. And
Yeah.
I was like, so where are those nasty comments? Where's the people who are going to be mad about what happens in that particular episode?
Right. Right. No. Yeah. Creativity, man. Again, go check out the Vagrancy Horror and give him a sub. Hello, Hot Toddy. Todd, what's going on? Grant, what's going on? Barry St. Clair. Good to see you guys here. Vicky Alcorn, look like high school boys, she says. It certainly did.
Oh,
Yeah,
Smith
Will
and
Smith. Yeah, yeah.
Rock. I was going to say, us?
No,
What
no,
high
no, no,
school did she go to?
no, 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 no. Rock and Smith. 06902 says, I have vitiligo and have been snipped out of a comedian in a comedy club before and roasted the ish out of me, and all I could do was laugh my ass off because it was funny. Okay, huh? Interesting. But yeah, I mean, that's kind of what you got to do, right? I mean, if you're in the business, especially. Hot Toddy says, "Ha, I've known people in open marriages, and it works until someone is dating someone better than who they're married to. Almost always implodes," says Hot Toddy.
I'm not going to take sides. I'm just going to quietly nod my head for
Nod
no
my head.
particular
Yeah, that
reason.
happens. Yeah, that happens. Hey, look who I found. Yeah. No, hey, I'm not judging anybody, but yeah, it's I can see
If
that
anyone
happening, Todd.
if anyone ever takes offense to me, just remember I'm a middle-aged, balding, overweight guy who runs around with a dead deer skull on my head. You really shouldn't worry too much about my opinion in the first place.
Right. It only takes the wrong word in the wrong context, and boom. Tracy says
Yeah.
everything is fair game in public side, no exceptions at all, unfortunately. Barry St. Clair says, where is the horror? Hey, this is the pre-show before the big show, before the old time radio show. Barry St. Clair, the channel has taken its own. This revolves around a lot of different things. We do horror movie reviews. We do the old time radio shows at night. I think you know all this.
Yeah.
We do paranormal shows now. Well, I've always done that, but I'm putting it on the channel now and stuff.
Yeah.
And this is just anything. It's the pre-show before the big show, and I'm doing this for content to actually get. I think this is kind of a cool thing. Get people on, talk to them, some guests, have a little bit of trivia, and I think after I'm done talking to Kristoff here, I am going to do something so that we can listen to a show requested by one of you, and we'll talk about it real quick, during the playback. But we'll see. But Barry, you get your horror, and I'd say 70% of this content on the channel is horror. I know we've got over 600 horror movie reviews altogether. You gotta go back in the playlist to see it, but there's plenty of horror and plenty coming too.
And if you're
So
looking And if you're looking for the horror berry, my name is Kristoff and Chester. I'm right here.
Yes, and I was also going to say, Kristoff, the vagrancy horror. I'm trying to promote a little bit. We sidetracked with Will Smith, and Chris Rock, but that's okay. I'm going to take the pre-show as in anything goes. We can talk about anything during the pre-show. It's just us getting together, chatting, having fun, maybe some trivia, whatever. Anybody wants to come on, they can come on and talk. You want to come on and talk about old time radio shows? We can do that too. So,
What we need to do is we need to get Hot Toddy on here for some recipes.
yes,
Some Hot Toddy recipes.
yes. Todd, I think Todd would be Hot Toddy would be up to coming on the. Yeah, I'll get a hold of you, Todd. I'm going to need it. Yeah.
Well, no, over on the Discord, I remember there's like a whole sub Discord server that was like just for recipes and stuff. Like seriously.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I love food personally, so I'm like, hey, get a cooking show on here, the late cooking show.
Oh geez, oh geez. Well, it can be done. That can be done. But yeah, on Discord, yeah, there's I think Brooke asked about that at one time. I haven't seen her in a while, but she's lurking around. She's busy doing her stuff. Again, all the prayers too to all the people out there who are dealing with stuff like cancer, like being sick, like RTN, healing with and a great attitude after what he's gone through. And, be sure to always get checked by your doctor so you guys can be on the planet as long as possible.
And so you can see the late horror show streams and check out my episodes.
There you go. Do you know when your next episode's going to air?
Unfortunately, no. It's kind of it's ready when it's ready sort of thing.
Okay.
I'm not the best planner or organizer.
Not a problem, man.
I'm like I said, in all sincerity, when I started this channel last year, people ask me like, well, what was your goal? What's your plan? Do I look like the kind of guy that has a plan? It's like, I don't know.
I don't know what I'm doing.
Not a bloody clue. I'm gonna put up scary stories. Leave me alone.
There's nothing wrong with that either, man. The dude wearing the deer skull is exactly the guy I'm gonna listen to, says Hot Toddy. So Prophet Wing sits back and looks at the program notes. Yeah. Just a man. Howdy, y'all. Barry St. Clair of the Humanities. Yeah, it is what it is. This pre-show is just something a little bit different. Just to talk before the show. Armac just saw the skull in your stories. I was imagining a human skull. They must be slaughtering their own deer or someone doing sacrifices in the Walmart car park.
I will neither confirm nor deny any associations with dark rituals performed in parking lots.
Yes. Yeah, and they're saying, love is that Zardoz who said that, or it's a wide channel and I love it. No.
The Late Horror Show, it's one of those things. Creations that are really good, they tend to grow in their own way, and sometimes they'll become something completely different than what you originally expect.
True.
Pretty much everything in the vagrancy mythos is a good example of that. Nothing really that's been put onto the channel is very distinctly like it was in the original books. That's one of the reasons I tell people, don't bother looking for those books. Don't buy them, because very, very little is directly translated from the books into the stories. Almost everything has been revised and rebooted and changed drastically.
True.
And that's part of creation.
Yeah, organic growth, man. That's what Zardoz says. Yes. Mark Flavin, hello. I don't know if I said hello to you, but yes. No, everything's got to change. And you know what? There's a thing with, especially on YouTube, if you kind of corner yourself in on a certain thing, over time, you will get sick and tired of even doing it in front of the camera. And I mean, I freely admit, Ted has talked about it. Me and Ted did this for 6 years, and he just, there was really just getting a little tired of talking, the same way about the same cheesy movies over and over again. It's like how much, we enjoy our company. We're best friends, been for, almost 30 years, I mean, honestly. But you eventually get sick and tired of doing the same thing. So
Yeah.
switching things up, organic growth, changing things up when something pops in your head and you do something a little bit different. Like I never knew I was going to start streaming old time radio shows on here. I mean, with everything that was going on with the world and everybody in their homes, I just decided one night I'm going to stream this for myself so I can hear it instead of being I think because my classic iPod broke and oh, it's the worst thing because I loved my classic iPod, they were indestructible. But I'm like, you know what? I'll just stream it overnight, listen to it, like I do every night. And like I said, I've said this before, woke up to all kinds of people sending messages and stuff. And I'm like going, hey, I'm on something here, I'll start
Yeah.
doing this. So the vast library of content that's up here is just unbelievable. I can't believe I've put it up like that. But anyways,
Well, see, here's the beautiful thing. When you don't have a plan, you can claim that everything has gone according to your plan.
right. Yes, you can say this was all planned, but it wasn't. Toddy, let me know what's the best way to get a hold of you. I guess I can I can message you on Patreon. There you go. So yes, I would, you know what? I would put the link in here. I don't know if anybody would even get on with us. I would have to watch who, I'm going to put the link in the, because I can see who's there and I don't have to put everybody on. If you want to come on, here's the link to get on the channel. If you want to, there you go. It says studio restream. I just put the link there. If you want to jump on with me, and Kristoff, feel free. Feel free.
Let's
jump on.
shake things up a little bit here.
Yes, let's shake things up and let's talk. That's the thing that gets me too. I mean, I'm, this is evolving. It's a pre-show, it's everybody does wait for the old time radio show. So, we've got 30 people watching, but they'll be watching later on tonight, tomorrow. They catch up to it. I know there's too much content on the channel. You can't watch everything. So you got to pick and choose. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I was going to say. Maybe this pre-show thing doesn't necessarily need to be every single night. Maybe it could be, every other or once a week. I don't know.
Well, I'm figuring out that, like tonight, there was something I wanted to do, but I didn't do because this was scheduled. But when I said, I'm going to do this every night, you got to remember, I'm doing a movie night on Friday at 8:00 too for the Patreons, Sunday at 8:00 for the Patreons. So, and then tomorrow, if you're a Patreon member, I'm calling it a big wild party. We're just going to all get together, talk, have fun, chit chat, that kind of thing. So,
Yeah.
to do something every single night makes it hard to have time for myself. So this won't be every night, but I'm tinkering around with things because YouTube wants me to get some stuff up, original content and everything, even though, I think what I do is original too, but
Yeah. See, I still don't fully understand any of that. 'Cause, like, when I heard that you had gotten demonetized, I took a quick glance over at episodes like Perfectly Natural. It's like, how did he get in trouble? But I did. What the hell? I mean, it's like, am I not worth the censor's time? Like, I feel kind of insulted.
Yeah, no, it's unfortunately it was across the board on YouTube. Anybody who, and they come up with these silly, crazy, well, it helps in some ways. These algorithms that and bots that pick up certain material. I understand, like Johnny Dollar. How many times is, even though I put up an episode, it's up like however many times, thousands of times, it's probably uploaded by different people in different ways. Either it's a single episode or 4-hour segment or whatever. But where it comes in that I do something different is, and I tried to explain this. They said, make a video, explain what you do different. Oh, I've got a couple people here. I've got Zardoz. I will have Zardoz jump on, and I will have Cindy jump on with us. What is going on, Zardoz?
Hello.
Cindy? If either one of you can speak now.
Do we have working microphones?
But anyways, they're on.
Oh no.
Cindy left. I think she was having microphone problems. You can come on if you want, Cindy, back. But anyways, the what I was explaining in there is, it's not only putting together certain playlists and stuff like that. And somebody said something about Lynn Matthews. The CBS programs are high quality. He enjoyed the set I put on. CBS Radio Theater is what I put up the other day, and that was quality material too. Those are really good shows, and I don't see those up as much as they can be. But I got another playlist that I'll be putting up too soon. Zardoz is still trying. Yeah, no problem. If you pop on and get your mic and everything set up, then just say something, Zardoz. But everything I do, even with the old time radio shows. And I'm sorry, Kristoff. I'd like to speak here. Go ahead.
Well, no, I was just gonna say, you could probably make a stream just of like commercials from those different shows. Like, I feel so gypped. We get such lame commercials in this time frame. Like, seriously, there's a lot of cool stuff. I love those old commercials.
Oh yeah, those old commercials, they're fantastic, man. I love them. I mean, it's what kind of, makes listening to some of these shows sometimes. When the CBS Radio Mystery Theaters commercials are left in there, that's a throwback right to the 70s, and it's just fantastic, and then
it's like an audio time capsule.
And what I'm against smoke. Again, it's something people are addicted to. I get it. And smoking is what it is. Okay. It's bad chemicals you shouldn't be putting in your body, but yet it's something people do. But back in the day, hearing these commercials is it's a kick. I love listening to these just for the fact that they go, Camel, cool, refreshing on your throat. It's like, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? The things they would say.
Tell me you never used the product without telling me you never used the product.
Right.
That's right. I do smoke a little. I do smoke a little bit. I smoke cigars every now and then. Yeah. But I will tell you, smooth and calm on the throat is not how you describe any smoking product.
Right. And hello, W. Alan Dorman and JLR. Hugs as always. Cool, refreshing on the throat was the one that got me. And I'm just like going, oh, you got to be kidding me, man. How you got away with this back in the day is beyond me. I don't understand it, but it's history. I mean, it makes you think of other things too. I mean, a lot of these cigarette companies, they gave out free packs of cigarettes to every military person who was in World War II. And
that's how my grandfather became a smoker. They gave cigarettes to the Vietnam soldiers too. And we could sit here and we could argue that maybe my grandfather would have lived a bit longer if he didn't smoke like a pack a day or something. We could talk a lot about random stuff that coulda, woulda, shoulda. Yeah. It's history. Talking about cigarettes doesn't make my grandfather's life any more worse or better than it was anyway. But we shouldn't be afraid of the topic.
Oh no, not at all. Yeah, I mean, you know, at this point it's history, but there's still, I don't want to say still getting away with it, but I mean, it is what it is. Let's not talk about cigarettes
Ye-
anymore, but the commercials are fun. It's fun historically listening to stuff that just is not, you know, you just can't play them nowadays like that because people
Oh
would be
no.
like, what the hell? And you don't want them to. You don't want a kid listening, cool, refreshing on my throat. Oh boy, I gotta smoke a camel. You know,
But
it's
to your point about history, it would be cool. I don't know if you have any of these, but like, what about news broadcasts? Like,
oh no, I'm Kristoff. That's the thing. You know, I've got there's still half of my library of shows are related to, and that's why I started the other channel until that got demonetized. Uh, consist of comedy, consists of drama. There's some soap operas in there. There's news footage. There's all kinds of news briefings, news interviews, stuff like that that I am yet to play. And I think coming up in the near future here, I'm going to start including some like news segments, you know, in after some of the shows. So that is coming. So again, this is the late horror show, but everything evolves and it can't be 100% horror, but I'm not changing the name because that's what it's come to be
yeah.
known for. Um,
Well,
hell,
and
go ahead.
I was going to say, and to be fair, horror is a very, very broad term. I mean, there are people who are horrified about people knocking on the door. There are people who are horrified about little animals skittering underneath their bed. So, I
Oh yeah.
mean, if someone were to honestly sit here and get upset about the title, The Late Late Horror Show, or the vagrancy horror, I would say, well, first of all, define horror.
Right,
What
right.
are you looking for in calling it in the first place?
Yeah. Well, I've changed my channel name one other time. It started out as the Little Monsters movie podcast. And then 4 years ago, I changed it to the Late Horror Show. So, you know, I did change the name, but oh wow, Dino, that would be amazing, says Tracy. Zardoz, I could talk old time radio and stuff for hours. Oh, Zardoz, yeah. So he says, camera blocked in my OBS studio. I'll be ready next time. Awesome. The next time I have a pre-show before the big show, before the old time radio show, be sure Zardoz, be ready, because I'll put that link in there. I'd love for whoever wants to jump on and talk, you know, whatever, to jump on and talk.
I was gonna
And
say you have your next guest.
there you go. Well, Hot Toddy, Zardoz, I think I'd love to have you on. Zardoz, if you can find my email, or I know you're on Instagram that I see you sometimes, but get a hold of me one of those ways so that I can send you a link so you can get on like Kristoff and anybody else personally, so we can do a one-on-one and just talk old time radio shows. I would love that. So yeah, definitely get a hold of me, Zardoz. Oh, Mank, you have to send me your recipes. What, Toddy? You know what? Todd is a character. I love him. Uh, During the movie nights, we get on a little bit earlier sometimes before the movie starts at 8, and we talk a little bit. And just by talking to him, I mean, I could tell Todd is kind of he's a fun guy to hang around. And he did something on his channel because he's got kind of a channel that he did stuff a while back. I'm not sure if he's getting into it again, but little puppets and little animated kind of stuff. So it was kind of cool. And hey, it's Dave Plouffe in the chat. What's going on, Dave Plouffe? Slap sounds like a plan. Slap sounds like a plan. There you go, Zardoz. Awesome. Please do. And Dave Plouffe, he's been there since I started 6.5. Yeah. However, he's been there since the start of me on this whole journey on YouTube and podcast and the Facebook page. Yeah. So it's pretty cool. But again, let me put that. Oh shoot, I don't got that link to the vagrancy horror. Go over, subscribe. You will have some fun listening to some great little horror stories. Some may offend and some might not. Who knows? But either way, I believe it's art and creative, independent creator, whatever. Yeah.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
And for the record, if Perfectly Natural is a bit too much for you, don't worry. None of the other stories have come anywhere near that, and none of the stories that we're really working on go that far either. Maybe in the future, but yeah, don't assume. Check it out. Have some fun. I
Yeah.
look forward to entertaining you guys.
Hey, I've got family members who I'd like to. I'm the oldest of 7 kids.
Wolf.
Okay. So there's 7 of us and I'm the oldest, and I would love to get one of my brothers on here to have some fun with me too, but we'll see what happens. Thank you, Tracy. There's the link one last time for the Vagrancy Horror YouTube channel. Please check it out. Frankenhooker offended. LOL. Yeah. Oh, evening poor. Yeah. Hello. But Frankenhooker was fun. And Tracy was having the time of her life because it was something so far out. The nude women in that room after taking the drugs and blowing up were fantastic. You know what I'm talking about, Kristoff, right?
Frankenhooker is one of the greatest films of all time. Meet me in the backyard and we will fight over this if we have to. But that is one of the greatest movies of all time.
Frank Henenlotter, who also did Basket Case, who I think is probably my favorite cheesy 80s of that, cheesy 80s horror movie. I know you say Frankenhooker, and I give that to you. So no arguing over that. It's he's done some great things, So I don't know if you've ever seen Head of the Family. It's a Full Moon feature.
Mm-hmm.
Full Moon came out with some really fantastic subspecies, not cheesy really in any way whatsoever. It's a vampire. There's 5 movies in the series, I do believe. I hope I'm not wrong.
We're talking about Head of the Family, right?
I'm jumping all around like I always do. I jumped to all of Full Moon's movies and I said Subspecies is one of my favorite, but it's not a cheesy. It's a vampire movie with Radu and that bloodstone, and he gets the spit all over that and all that. Yeah, but it's such a good series. But Head of the Family is just this head on a wheelchair, and it's deformed, and it's such a good movie. So cheesy.
Full Moon doesn't get the respect they deserve for some really cool practical effects, in my opinion.
In the 80s, yeah, they were king of the cheese in the 80s, along with Lloyd Kaufman and the Trauma team, who did things a little bit different with like the Toxic Avenger. And
I was literally talking to somebody over social media about that movie in particular, like literally this morning. Actually, I love Trauma. One of my favorite movies of all time is Poultrygeist.
Okay. Me and Ted did a commentary on Toxic Avenger and tweeted it out, of course, like we do. And guess who retweeted it and said, great job, guys. Lloyd Kaufman himself retweeted it, and I'm like going, that's pretty cool. This was early on, and we're like going, that's pretty cool, man. He retweeted our commentary, so that's pretty cool.
Well, I don't think you could have a career like Mr. Kaufman has had and not be like a really cool person. Actually, like he has taken so much out on himself. Oh yeah. I would love to meet him. I would love to talk to him. There you go.
Yeah,
we need to leave out some booze and some like plastic boobies and like lure him on. I think that's how you would lure him on.
Yes. Armax says, hey, what's in the basket? Yeah. If you look at me and Ted's, it's older, but if you watch me and Ted movie commentary on Basket Case, Ted holds the same basket the entire show, and at the end of the show, the commentary, something comes out of the basket, and that's all I'm going to say. You're going to have to go back and watch it, but because me and Ted, the commentaries we did on these horror movies back the first 5 years of this channel are some of the most fun times I've ever had. And we say there's one commentary where towards the end of the show, we were cracking up laughing. We didn't say a word for like 10 minutes. I think we just could not get it together. We were laughing so much over what we said. And I'm like going, if anybody just stuck around long enough to see this, maybe I'll re-release it, a classic, bring it back new, because nobody watches that old stuff. They don't get views now. So they're just sitting there. So I don't know. It's fun. We've had so much fun, man.
From the Late Late Horror Show vault.
Yes, there you
Remastered.
go. Remastered, yeah. Oh God, everybody's chiming in now. I don't know if you want to get going or you're still good.
I got nowhere to be. I'm here.
Okay, yeah. What's in the basket is just, basket case, just fantastic, stop motion. And then he also did Brain Damage, which was with the little creature Elmer.
I remember that one.
Yes, which was voiced by Zachary, an old horror host himself. So that was fantastic. I love that movie. But the next basket case movies, like part 2 and 3, a little bit different because it takes place so long after the first one. I think 10 years span between part 1 and part 2. But yeah, they said Vampire Journals was part of the Subspecies series. That was fantastic too. What's Dave say? 80s, yes. Blade the Iron Cross, not so much. No. Dave Plouffe, yes. The whole full moon thing, they were doing, what was it called? They were making so many movies in so many days before the pandemic hit and all that. And it included Blade, and that movie sucked. It was not good. There's supposed to be a new Subspecies movie. I don't even know if that's out yet, to tell you the truth. But they're supposed to make Bride of Head of the Family, which I was excited to see this too. But I don't think they've brought anything out. I think this whole 2-year thing kind of messed with that a bit. And I hope we still get Bride of the Head of the Family, because did you see Head of the Family, Kristoff?
Yes, I actually saw Head of the Family on some kind of weird late night TV show that was hosted by William Shatner. I have no idea what it was called. I don't know where I watched it, but I remember it was William Shatner was hosting the movie, and he came on every now and then, like during the commercials and stuff.
Yes, Hercule, what's going on in the chat there? I was going to reference Schindler's List, but it seemed inappropriate. Yeah, probably. In War, the people use what's going on with War? What are we talking about here? Did I miss something? 06902 Dude Dowls scared the crap out of me to where my old siblings used to take knives to Dow's hands. Oh my God. In the bathroom with the lights off, laughing. Oh my geez, that's not good. Some of what the drill sergeant says in Full Metal Jacket is pretty funny, says Armac. Oh yeah. I mean, just the way he acted too was kind of, and then it got very dark very quickly. Full Metal Jacket is a favorite war movie of mine. So yeah. Let's see. Grant L. I guess I prefer gothic horror or cosmic horror over the gore slasher stuff. I would agree with you. I'm not. It depends with what slasher. Not gore. I'm not a gore horror guy, but slasher. I can deal with the 80s slashers like Slumber Party Massacre, Friday the 13th. Halloween, and all the ones you would think of back in the day. Even My Bloody Valentine and Black Christmas. All of those movies.
Garbage Day. That
Which
line.
one?
Garbage Day.
Oh,
That
I'm
line.
like, yes. That was called Full Moon Fright Night with William Shatner, says Dave Plouffe.
Oh my God! So someone else knows it exists?
Yeah, yes. Well, Dave Plouffe, he's
Dave,
he-
thank
he-
you.
yes,
Now I'm
he's
going
the
to look
man.
that up.
He's the man with the answers. So it's Full Moon Fright Night with William Shatner. So must not have lasted too long, though. I do remember it.
I only saw that one single episode, and I've never been able to find anything of it anywhere ever.
Right. Connie Clary says, "Hey Dino, when I'm done with my song, I want to come on with a couple of people to help me sing it." Yeah, no, Connie Clary. Yeah, you let me know when that song's done. That'll be very, very cool. For sure. Nobody knows what we're talking about, so I guess it'll be a secret until it happens. So how about that?
I'm
I think,
noticing a trend.
yeah,
We have
right.
no idea what we're doing here.
I think my favorite horror tales appeal right to the mind. Well, some of my favorite horror movies. It depends what mood you're in, man. Because
Yeah.
the cheesy '80s horror movies are my favorite. But then if I get into a serious kind of mood, I really love those old black and white horror movies, and it's nostalgic for me. I just love them. So just depends what mood you're in.
Yeah, that's like I was saying before. Horror is such a diverse thing because everyone kind of defines it differently. I mean, I've said before, my greatest inspirations were people like Hitchcock, Lovecraft, Chambers, and Gaines, the man behind Tales from the Crypt, which was extremely graphic and violent for its time. And that's something everyone always gets like surprised by because I'll mention, very methodical mental stuff like Hitchcock and then Tales from the Crypt, and they're like, wait, hold on. One of those things isn't like the other.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Universal horror, man. Edward Stewart. Yep. You better believe it. What's your favorite horror movie of all time?
Oh,
Is that a tough
that
question,
is
or
that is a very tough question. But I say that, and I'm looking at this pile of DVDs that I keep by my workstation, and I have to acknowledge that The Creature from the Black Lagoon is on the top of that pile.
You can't go wrong there, man.
No,
The
The
Creature.
Creature. We can talk about the sequels, and there are plenty of words that need to be said that could be said about them, but the original Creature from the Black Lagoon was such a masterpiece. And really, to be fair, a lot of people don't realize how much of a gamble the entire production was. Like, they did not have experience filming underwater fight scenes and
Right. Yep.
spending that much time and getting all that gear into the water and stuff. It was a huge risk.
Oh yeah, yeah. And the guy in the costume. They had to be very careful with him too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Because he couldn't signal if he was in trouble. Not in
Right.
that costume.
I think they said they were looking out for the bubbles or something like that.
Yeah, there was some kind of like. There's one scene where you can see bubbles coming out from the top of the creature's head, and that was, I guess, from what I've heard, that was supposed to be like some kind of a cue that he was actually not feeling safe, or he was feeling like he was jeopardized or something.
Yeah, yeah. No, Creature from the Black Lagoon. The second and third one too. If you love the first one, I think you're going to still enjoy those two because it's in that trilogy of the Creature.
Yeah.
It gets silly when he comes out and gets into, real human clothes and stuff like that. But
The Creature Walks Among Us was.
Yeah.
It is kind of funny because here's the thing. I love the Creature trilogy. I just acknowledge that if you were to rank, the most schlocky B movies, you'd have to at least consider The Creature Walks Among Us and Revenge of the Creature. They are pretty down there, but they're still fun. That's the important thing.
Right. If you get into Universal, if you get into the original Creature from the Black Lagoon, you're going to enjoy those. Whereas the trilogy of Frankenstein, Dracula, they're all well made. If you ask me, the second Frankenstein, Son of Frankenstein, is probably one of the better Universal horror films to me. It's got one of my favorite actors, Basil Rathbone, in it, and it's got this gothic feel to it that adds a little bit of just what I love to that film. So, you know, we all
Yeah,
have what, you know, certain things that we like. So,
yeah. And to be fair, favorite movie is kind of a loaded question because, like, I mean, it depends what your mood is. You know, what are you in the mood to watch? Like,
exactly.
um, a great example, probably one of my favorite films of all time is, and I bet you nobody's going to remember this one, a movie called See Spot Run. But I
C-Spot.
can, yeah, See Spot Run. That movie was very special, is very special because going to see that movie in theaters was the last thing me and my grandfather did together before he passed
Gotcha.
away.
Yes.
And everyone's like, that was such a forgettable movie. Why is that one of your favorite films of all time? Because of the circumstances that make it special.
Oh, exactly. And I
Plus, it's
say
still
that,
a hilarious movie.
yeah, well, I've never seen it, so I'm going to have to check it out. Uh, Dave Plouffe, here's a link for one of the William Shatner's Fright Night movies on Vimeo. So thank you very much, Dave, as always.
Well, shoot, now I know what I'm going to watch later.
There you go. Let's see. Yeah, Zero, one of my favorites. My VHS copy, the best soundtrack. That film is amazing. Zero? Why don't I know that? The Creature Meets Flipper, says Prophet Wing. I enjoyed all three, says Edward Stewart. Yeah, me too.
Did that ever happen? Did they actually do The Creature Meets Flipper? 'Cause I've heard jokes about that, but I don't know.
Yeah, you know
I
what?
assume it
For
didn't.
some reason, I think that there might have been some, whether it was during a TV special or something back in the day. I remember hearing something like that too. But getting back to what you said, there's certain movies that just, uh, you know, I joke that even the worst movie out there is somebody's favorite movie because if you're emotionally invested, if there's some reason that you're connected to that movie, it's going to be one of your favorites, and there's many different
Yeah,
reasons why you get attached to a movie.
yeah. And the same goes in the other direction. You know, you might call a movie the worst film of all time because of some personal opinion. You know, it doesn't necessarily
Right.
mean that it is. And I mean,
Oh,
it's a valid
yeah.
opinion to have, but it's also that's all it is your opinion.
Yep. Oh, there's
Um,
many reasons for liking or not liking. Yeah, I mean, if you don't
uh,
agree with certain things, yeah.
oh no, me and my roommates. There's a particular movie that one of my roommates, if you say just saying the name of this film, makes him turn 10 shades redder and just
Oh, jeez.
he gets. I don't know what this movie did to him,
So I
but
guess you can't say it right now?
I'm gonna do it because I'm pretty sure I'm safe because he's not home right now. But
Okay.
you just saying the word wanted, just
Oh, okay.
mentioning wanted will make him just kind of start hulking out like that movie must have cornered his parents in an alleyway and shot them or something because he hates it so much.
Oh, that's so funny. Yeah, no, I get it. There's certain movies that do that to me. You know, I just don't want to hear it, don't like it. It's stupid. Come
Yeah,
on. But, you know, again, we all have personal reasons why we don't like certain things. So, um, RMAX says it's hard to pick a favorite movie as you grow older. Movies take on nostalgic. Take the films love can change your life perception. Yeah, yeah. No, it's yeah, that's true too. Things always change sometimes too. For the longest time, my favorite movie has been the original Rosemary's Baby. So uh, it hasn't
certainly a good
changed
one.
yet, but I do get in different moods to where, like, Rosemary's Baby is my all-time favorite film, okay? But you can put Abbott Costello Meet Frankenstein as one of my all-time favorite films. So
I love that
whether
movie
that's
so damn
better,
much.
what's that?
I love that movie so damn much. I have
Oh,
it.
yeah. Yeah, I mean, it depends what night you're looking for what movie, you know what I mean? That,
There's a movie
yeah.
for movie night right there.
Oh, yeah. No, I'm gonna get a classic one, yeah, for sure. Try switching it up. Hell, maybe maybe this Sunday we'll do Abbott and Costello Meet Frankenstein. I don't know. I can watch that all the time.
Oh
Plan 9
yeah,
from Outer Space, love that film, says Edward Stewart.
I
Hot
I have
hot
that one too. That one's another fun one.
Yeah, Hot Toddy says Wanted, based on the comic book
I don't know. It's a
by
movie
Mark
called
Miller.
Wanted, and he
Hmm,
just hates it. Morgan Freeman was in it. The one with Morgan Freeman. I don't remember
okay.
what year it was from, but it was more. The
Yeah, I don't know, I don't know.
one where they bent bullets, if I recall correctly.
Bent bullets, okay.
Bendy
Take
bullets.
Take care, Zardoz. See you later and get in touch with me for sure. Definitely want to touch. Yeah, I'm gonna okay, let Kristoff go and then end the show here, get it ended and talk a couple things real quick. But Kristoff, thank you very much. Make sure you subscribe to his channel and hit that bell notification for whenever he comes up with anything. Or don't, whatever you want to do. I don't know. But thank you, Kristoff, for being part of the show, man. I appreciate it.
It was wonderful being here, man.
Yeah, and I'll see you in one of the movie nights or something, I'm sure.
Oh yeah, absolutely, man.
Okay, Kristoff, you take care. I'll talk to you later, man.
Bye.
Okay, so there you go. Kristoff. Kristoff is yeah, fantastic guy. I'm glad to have him as my second guest on this pre-show thing. So De Plouffe, for me, it is any of the Rathbone Sherlock Holmes movies. As I would watch them with my dad when I was a kid every time. Watch one, I sense my dad near me. Dave Plouffe. Yeah. You know what, Dave? I agree with you 100%. The Basil Rathbone, Nigel Bruce, Sherlock Holmes movies are definitely on my favorite films of all times. I can put any one of those movies really in, at any given time and just love it. For not for the reason, you have, but because I love Nigel Bruce and Basil Rathbone. I love that old old movie, that style. I love when Nigel Bruce Watson when he just just starts mumbling and you're like, what is he doing? Especially on some of these old time radio shows, if you catch him in some of the dialogue and some of the scenes, not so many with Basil Rathbone, the old time radio shows I'm talking about, but with Conway and Bruce, he will start. I don't know why, but there were quite a few episodes where he just went on mumbling for the longest time, and I'm like going, what's going on? What's going on with him? Is he losing it or what's going on? But I love that about him. He would just like, and he would do that in the movies too with Basil Rathbone. It's funny. It's funny. I love it, man. But same here. Same here. Um, until I watched the Basil Rathbone Holmes movies, I don't understand the significance of the opening credits in Young Sherlock Holmes. Says Hercule, showing the shadows of the two walking on the pavements in London. Yeah, okay. Gotcha. Okay, but again, I didn't get to what I was going to do. I think I'm going to make one of these pre-shows a request show where we break down maybe the next one, and unless Zardoz gets a hold of me and I'll have him on, or Hot Toddy and I'll have him on with me just to talk old time radio shows, old Hollywood, whatever, these pre-shows are just to have fun before we get to the old time radio show. So I hope you guys get that and understand that and enjoy that. I do not want to burn you out on me. That's for sure. So I might not do it every night, but I will definitely. I mean, you're going to get me here at least 2-3 nights a week. Well, let me say 2 nights because, well, if I can be regular with paranormal shows, then next week, me and Ted are going to be talking. Oh God, we're doing a movie review. Not this today, not this Wednesday, but next Wednesday. Let me check. I forget which Buster Keaton it was, but we are going to do a breakdown of. Oh geez, the General with Harold Lloyd. No, Buster Keaton. Oh, geez. Yes. So we are going to do The General, where we break down that movie and talk about that movie, which will probably lead into us talking about Harold Lloyd and a couple other Chase. Oh, why can't I think of the name? Chase was a big guy back in the time, too. What's his name? Not Chevy Chase. Oh, I'm so pissed. I can't remember. I'm losing it. So that'll be fun. That'll be next Wednesday. And yeah, and tomorrow we're going to have a party, big old party on Patreon. I will send you guys the link. I will put the link in Patreon in the morning. If you want to support the channel and the live streams, please go to Patreon, search up the Late Late Horror Show, check out the links in the description, and many different levels to join in on everything. I opened up movie nights to even the $1 and the $5 levels. It's what it is. RTN is there. You heard Buster Keaton, Charlie Chase. Thank you, my friend. Oh my God, Denny. I cannot believe I didn't remember Charlie Chase, but I get that way sometimes. I don't remember. So, but Charlie Chase, because Charlie Chase is another underappreciated early comedic stunt actor, kind of. He did some really good movies. So Charlie Chase was awesome too. Stephen Chase. No, so thanks for chiming in there, RTN Productions. So we'll hear some particulars about the General, dodges the bricks, the Profit Wing. Oh yeah, no, Ted will go in depth about everything to do with Buster Keaton. He is a big fan, as well as I am, of Buster Keaton, Harold Lloyd, Charlie Chase, who I didn't even know. I mean, remember the name, but yeah, for real. Thank you, Tracy. Thank you, Tracy. But I will definitely have his brother Steeplechase. RTN, gotta love him. But I also want to do a show where I break down one episode of an old time radio show, and I want to do it to where somebody gets to pick the show. We'll learn on the fly. We'll play it and have some fun talking about it as it's playing. So I'll do that, but I've had Kristoff on this time and Winslow and Crimson on last time. So next time we'll see what it will be, which I think will be not tomorrow, Wednesday, but I'll try to get on Thursday for a pre-show before the big show, before the old time radio show. So hopefully, do you guys like this format where it's kind of all over the place? We're talking one thing 1 minute, something else the other. Very interactive. Do you guys like this pre-show before the big show, before the old time radio show? Do you guys enjoy this? Just put a yes, or I mean, I guess what are you going to do? Say no? You can tell me no if you want. Is it too much? Is it too much? Anyways, Buster Keaton's short film 9 Weeks is very good. They're building a house together, him and his new wife. I love all the old ones. When Three Stooges did a building of the house for their three wives. Laurel and Hardy did a building of the house with their wives. So they all seem to have done that back in the day. You know, Laurel and Hardy, that one was fantastic. Three Stooges were just, I mean, that was just plain old crazy. They just wallpapered chairs to the wall and stuff like that. But love this format. Super fun, Dino. Thank you, Todd. Yeah, that's funny. Harry Scott. Hell yeah. Yes, love it. It's all good to me, Dino. Granted, whatever. Gotcha. Buster is the best thing about the beach movies. Next is Harvey Lembeck as Eric Von Zipper. Eric Von Zipper. I haven't heard that. Annette Funicello. I haven't heard that in such a long time. Eric Von Zipper. RTN brings out some old school stuff. I like it. Gives you a lot to talk about, Edward Stewart. Thank you. So I have to say yes to the format is working. Thank you. Where the house falls almost on him, but the door saves him. Says Chick or Lynn Matthews. Yes, love it. I vote yes. Oh, thank you. Okay. Okay. Lauren Hardy also had a new boat. You mean the boat that they went to go fishing? Fish! Fish! Remember when you're driving on the street? Get your fish! And a smelly fish. And they said, you know, we could really make a buck by skipping the middleman and getting the fish ourselves. So they ditch everything and they go get their boat. And when they start working on that boat, okay, Oliver is painting the underneath and Stan is on top causing all the troubles. And I love when they make sure there's no holes in the bottom of the boat and they fill it up with water. It's my favorite scene in there. I forget the title of that episode. Ships Ahoy? Is it Ships Ahoy? For some reason I think it's not Ships Ahoy, but I'm not sure. But Stan gets in the boat because Ollie tells him, "You get in that boat, okay?" Because he's pissed off at him. And there's this thing that goes up. There's a pole, and Stan gets his head caught between the wall of the boat and that pole. It's just a very funny scene. It's hilarious. I put a hole in the boat, let the water out. Stan gets his head caught in the mast. Yes, that's my favorite part. The Sitter Downers, Three Stooges. Yes, the Sitter Downers. Toad in a hole. Thank you, Armac. If it wasn't for you guys, I don't know what I'd do, because you know what? I can't remember things, and it's getting cold. So I'm going to turn this space heater back on, and I'll put this a little bit closer to me. But Toad in a hole. Yep. Which was the one where the ghost on the ship? Me and Ted were trying to figure that out the other day, and I couldn't remember the name of that. Where they went to the saloon, Lauren Hardy, and they were given $1, I think, for every person they could get on the ship. They would knock them out, and there was an egg routine that they would play, and all that stuff. And then they would carry them to the ship and throw them down the hole, So they had to work on the ship, because by the time they left shore, they couldn't get off the ship. So, but I forget that episode. And one of the drunk guys ends up falling in white paint, I think, and walks around the ship, and they think he's a ghost, and it's fun. The live ghost. Thank you, RTN. The live ghost. Yes, there you go. That was that's one of my favorites too. Although when it comes to Laurel and Hardy, tit for tat. I mean, how can you go wrong? That's probably the best, in my opinion. But I think every single short that they did, even the movies, but every short for sure is gold. Everything is gold that Lauren Hardy did. The Live Ghost is the ghost ship movie. Yes. Thank you, RTN. That is exactly. Yeah, Dave Plouffe got it too. Only bit of British cuisine I've tried so far is bangers and mash, says Prophet Wing. Oh, you got to extend your viewing pleasure there. Toad in the hole, 4 fresh local bangers baked in Yorkshire pudding and covered with our whiskey onion gravy. Yummy, says Todd. Oh boy. Okay, yeah, we're getting at 9:30 here. Let me look real quick. Let me go out of frame. Very professional of me. Oh, Cindy. Cindy, are you still around? Cindy, are you still around? Thank you very much. Cindy just became a Patreon. Looks like I got a couple more comments on the movie night. I think the poll. It should still be. Let me see. Let me refresh. Very professional of me. But let me see where that has gotten. Oh, geez. 21. I'm out of screen. 21. I got the computer screen over there. 21 votes for, it looks like it's going to be Rear Window that we're going to watch, Alfred Hitchcock. Yeah, thank you, Cindy, very much. I will send her a message on Patreon. Thank you very much. I think she did the full year is what I think she did. Because I did set it up to where you can do a full year because Harry asked about that. And I found out that you can set up so that you can pay for a whole year on Patreon and just be done with it, not worry about it coming out or anything like that. So very cool. Helpmates or the music box for me. Yeah, those, I mean, you can't go wrong with any of them. I still say tit for tat for me. Yeah, I mean, it's just that one is just something I think I've watched with so many people that have all enjoyed it, and we've watched it together, and it's just been fantastic. Helpmates is fantastic too. You can't go wrong. Saps at Sea was when Ollie goes crazy with the horns. Well, County Hospital. County Hospital is another fantastic Stan Laurel and Oliver Hardy short until they leave the hospital and start driving through the street. That part they could almost cut out. That they could just, I would have just have them come out of the hospital, deal with the car a little bit and drive off. And that's it. But because I just didn't, I don't know. But when they're in that hospital and he brings eggs and nuts, says Oliver Hardy, because he broke his foot and it's up in the air. Eggs and nuts he brings him to eat as he's in the hospital, Stan Laurel. It's fantastic. Lauren Hardy commenced to dancing. Yes. Let's see. Okay, see ya, Connie. Yeah, I'm getting ready to leave too. Love Hitch, love Rear Window, Derby Girl. Well, we'll be watching that all together on Friday, looks like, because it's got 21 votes to Clues 12, to The Birds 3, to Reanimators 6. So it looks like that's going to be the winner. We need a YouTube channel that promotes Lauren Hardy. May contain nuts. Dave Plouffe. Oh, God. Are my videos listed over there yet? Me and Ted did commentaries to Lauren Hardy movies, shorts, and the channel name is May Contain Nuts. So, yes, I've got another channel, but we didn't do a whole lot over there. We did watch some. I think I didn't make them private. So, yeah, I'm going to have to check that out. May Contain Nuts is the YouTube channel. Dave, man, you don't ever forget. That's for sure. I love Come Clean, Birthmarks, Big Business, and Pardon Us. Armac, every one of those are fantastic. Eggs and nuts. Sounds like a gift shop. Dragnet is the best of all the shows. Tyler Chernesky says Dragnet. That's okay. I mean, if you like your detective shows, then Dragnet's not a bad one. I mean, come on. That's definitely good. I think top is Johnny Dollar throughout everybody's poll and across the country. Johnny Dollar is perfect. Here's the link. Yeah, let me see. I'm going to hit that link to May Contain Nuts. Oh, shoot. That just brung up Dave. I guess I can't hit the link unless I go to the YouTube channel. I'm curious if my playlist is still there. Yeah, they're still there. They're still there. So if you want, me and Ted started. Thank you, Dave. Thank you, Dave Plouffe. If you want, I don't know if we're going to do it. Maybe I'll do some stuff over. Whatever. But we do have some commentaries to some of the Lauren Hardy shows over there. Yeah. I've got channels all over the place. When we first started, we wanted to do a little bit of everything. So Lauren Hardy, Evan Costello, the Goons, the Marx Brothers, the Three Stooges. Yeah, the Goon Show. I still to put that up on the channel. I do believe I didn't put the Goon Show. Oh, the Bowery Boys are awesome. The Bowery Boys did well over 30 movies together. Good stuff, man. But yeah, you know what? 9:30. Thank you guys very much for being part of all of this. I do appreciate it. You guys know that. Love you all. Man, I can't say enough about everybody. Dave Plouffe, man, always been around. Edward Stewart, Tracy, Connie, who just left. The new people like James Cavern, Count Flittermice, Hot Toddy, Armac, Prophet Wing. You guys all know who you are, and I know I'm missing people. Glenn Davis is here. How you doing? RTN. Who didn't you bring me a box of candy? You didn't pay me for the last box I brought you. Yeah, County Hospital, RTN. Fantastic, man. Boys of the City and Ghost on the Loose are my faves. Yeah, I think you're right, Dave. The other Bowery Boy movies end up getting, again, I love them all, but they end up getting, like, the older they get, when they start going into the 50s, there's a little different feel to the films of the Bowery Boys, and they're different, but I certainly still do love them. CM, positive vibes and healing thoughts to you all. Good night and sleep well. Thank you, CM, very much. Trog is here. Carl Winslow, big love. Thank you very much. Okay, yeah, gonna get out of here, you guys. And much love, man. This has been fun again. I dig doing this. I like talking to you guys about different things, and this is fun. So I'll get Hot Toddy or Zardoz next time. And with that said, let me end this show so we can get ready for the Shadow overnight and enjoy that chat. So with that said, I got to shave too. So if I'm not in the chat too much tonight, you guys, just know I need to shave and shower and all that. So I need to get a meal, you know. Lisa, thanks all. Thanks, Lisa. Thanks to Vagrancy Horror. Good night, all. I'll see you at the stream chat. Okay, with that said, I am out of here.